Hello and welcome to www.luxurytolast.com. Today we're talking watches, and we're talking one of my all-time favorite sea-going watches, which is the Rolex Sea Dweller. Now the Rolex Sea Dweller is the king in the Rolex range. It certainly may not be gold or platinum, but it certainly stands out for the size of the sucker. Now the Rolex Sea Dweller itself there has the gas escape valve, the helium gas escape valve on the side of the case, and this is a very interesting thing that the watch has on it there. Interestingly enough, I remember I was working overseas, and I saw this watch that said it could go down to I think it was 14,000 meters, and it didn't have a gas escape valve. It actually had the movement submerged in oil. So it's quite funny. Makers like Omega had the Pro Prof, and Rolex had the Sea Dweller, but the solution was to have the movement submerged in oil, apparently. So there's a bit of a tidbit for you. But the Sea Dweller itself is a very, very collectible watch itself there. Rolex has actually stopped production of the Sea Dweller, and they now have a model which has replaced it. Yes, that's right, it didn't just die and was not to be replaced. They've replaced it with the Deep Sea, which is even more impressive. But the Sea Dweller itself is a great piece, and I've always loved the cleanness of the watch. And it uses a thicker crystal than the standard Submariner, but the big impressive thing for me has always been the fact that it doesn't have the Cyclops on the date. And to me, that's I suppose there's no criticism of having the Cyclops. It's just that when you've seen so many Rolexes with the Cyclops, to have a piece without the Cyclops is very unusual. So that's sort of my take on that there, and I think myself you can't really be a lover of seagoing watches without an attachment to the Submariner or the Sea Dweller for that matter, and they're just absolute classic pieces there. You can see some pictures here. I've actually displaying two Sea Dwellers, and one is a rare plastic Sea Dweller, which is a Holy Grail collectible piece, and the other Sea Dweller is a sapphire late 90s piece, and you can see that the two pieces there. And the wonderful thing with Rolex is that as the brand progresses, Rolex very nicely they don't have any revolutionary changes, they have evolutionary changes. And the way you can see this plastic 1665 has evolved into the sapphire version, which has now evolved into the Deep Sea. And they're just an absolute gorgeous piece. And I think the Sea Dweller itself there is a great piece to have if you're a person who loves watches and you've got a nautical flavour there. And Sea Dwellers are great pieces to have, and because the model's been dropped, I think they've got classic status written all over them. So that's my prediction for the future. And I think Sea Dwellers themselves, just like Submariners, there'll always be a call for it. And I mean, the amazing thing with the Submariner and the Sea Dweller and now the Deep Sea, it's actually a very difficult thing to keep water out of a movement. And so many watches I've bought as a dealer, and so many have had water damage, and that includes Rolex pieces as well, where the seals have given out and people have still continued to use them for water application. And I've even seen Submariners which have had water damage because the seals have deteriorated and the user has not bothered to check that before using that piece underwater. And it's always been a huge thing as far as the water proofing abilities of Rolex. I mean, why else would you name your case an oyster if it wasn't to prove its prowess at keeping water out? And I think the one of the big things about Rolex that has made it so successful is the fact that it was the first waterproof watch to hit the market. And when you've built your fame on that ability, then you've refined it by having the Submariner, then the Sea Dweller. It's just a great collectible to have, and I don't know what it is, but men love watches and water, and it's a great thing to have. I think any collection needs a water-going watch, and the Sea Dweller is a fantastic piece to have. Thanks for watching this clip, and don't forget to come to my free information website www.luxurytolast.com. Thank you.